Today we're going to go over SPX, which is SPY of course, GLD, Dixie, which is the dollar, Playboy, AMC, GameStop. Just gonna hit all the bases. Let's dive into the charts. I believe we've reached the top of Supercycle Wave 3. That was the high we set in late 2021 near that 4,700, 4,800 level. We then started this crazy decline. And the way I see it is that this has to all be in some sort of incredibly complex measurement move down, followed by some sort of flat for wave B, and now we found ourselves in an extension of this corrective cycle because of how short it is. It hasn't been nearly 10 years yet. It's only been, what, 2 years? It's been about 2 years. If that's true, that we've only reached the very beginning of this corrective phase, we could go sideways for a very long time. A very long time. It's important to remember that. My target for this wave is 3,200. As you can see, the market is pushing much higher, and people now are feeling very bullish. We are not at all-time highs yet. If we get to all-time highs, then we're gonna have to do some deep analysis. But until we do, I'm gonna stick with the thesis that we're actually going sideways in a very tall trading range, and we'll find ourselves down at 3,200 eventually, sometime in the next 10 years. When I say it's gonna take a long time, I'm very serious. It's gonna take a very long time. This was bullish continuation, confirmation a while ago. Price blasted through that and hit the 100% target at 4,455. Just because I'm bearish on the markets doesn't mean I'm not putting these bullish targets down. I am. It's important to remember that these corrective bounces can be extremely powerful, and it's possible we're actually going sideways in a big triangle right now. Very possible, in which case we're going to be bouncing all the way through this level. We could even surpass 4,800 really and still be in a triangle. It'd be an expanding reverse triangle, be more confusing, more annoying, hard to describe, but it's very possible. And so because the high at October of 2022 cannot be wave 1, we have to try to consider that maybe this peak here at C, that this is the peak of wave 1. If that's true, we're still in good shape, and we're looking at wave 5 of that motive trend. This would be, follow my cursor closely here, waves 1, A, B, and C, and this is an alternative wave count. And then we were looking for wave 3, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and this would be 5 of 3, right? But that can't be true because the top of wave 1 has been reached and passed into just barely by this low. Just barely. And I mean by just barely, just barely. Let me put that down. Let's see here. Let's get a magnet going on that peak right there. That's 4,124, and we closed below it at 4,117. That's pretty nominal, but it is in the range of what would be wave 1, and it also doesn't have a very nice motive trend look to it. That's what the uptrend looks like right now. It's running at 64 degrees, which is pretty steep. It really, really is. If it's possible, we've seen waves 1, 2, 3. This is a sideways grind for 4. We're watching wave 5 through here. Wave 5 cannot pass the top or the extent of wave 3 because wave 3 would be shorter, the shortest wave in that case. And so what I'm thinking is that the top of wave 5 could be 4,746, which is just below all-time highs, right? Now, the reason why this can't be wave 5 shouldn't pass above this, because then wave 3 would be the shortest wave. We'd have to suppose we're in a new wave extension at that point. And if that's true, then we'll put down a really, 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 really bullish target, like a really bullish target. But right now we're not there. It's possible we get up there before we see reversal. Obviously, I've been trying to short the market, like I said. I've been stopped out a lot, and I haven't lost any money on it. My stops have been very tight, and it's because I'm aware of the potential to break through in a very bullish way to the upside. Of course, I don't believe that's what's going to happen. That's not where my bias is, and that's not what I'm trading on. At any rate, I'm thinking to myself that we are about to see the top of wave 5. I can't say if it's going to be this week or not, but we got some important stuff coming out on Wednesday of this week. To me, honestly, it looks like it's ready to go down. We'll look at Bitcoin next. Bitcoin has been making a big push higher, and you can see I've been expecting some, last week I was expecting a dump down to 3480. I didn't say we had to do that. We could push up to the target at 50,116 and then dump down and then rally, but this would be more likely to see the dump, especially with this declining volume. And I had some projections here about what the RSI would do. We didn't come up, but we are getting that M shape right through there, aren't we? Which is really interesting. Of course, I'm just doing this, I'm guessing. I'd have to do math to figure out where those highs would be, which I don't do. But we do have that M shape. We see the RSI dropping out of overbought now. Price is testing 40,500. Watch that level closely. We could be moving through a tight trading range for the rest of the week or until Wednesday before we really know what's going on. This is kind of our zone of uncertainty, is in this gray box. Once we push outside of this gray box, then we'll have a much better idea of what's going on. But honestly, I feel like we're going to retrace, and taking some profits here might be wise. We do have a massive bearish divergence that has formed. And remember, these divergences typically tend to signal correction is incoming. Not that they're imminent and they're going to make a full bearish reversal and we're going down to like 11,000. That's dumb. But it probably signals that we are going to at least correct, grind sideways for a while the averages of the price movements come to well, average. You know, that's the way it goes. Let's go check out GLD, which is an ETF that follows the price of gold. I'm looking into what may be the development of wave 3, and that would be a powerful extension pushing higher. It looks like we've closed above, perhaps, the top of wave 1, which of course would mean that we are no longer in a motive trend. And yeah, that looks like to be the case. If this is 1, 2, 3, this cannot be wave 4 because we've passed into the top of wave 1. It can be that we are in 1, 2, and now we're extending into wave 3, which will be a 1, 2, and now we're looking for 3 to push up. But hey, we're gonna see. You can see I left some lines here from last week. This was perfect. We came right back down to 185. We're testing it now. We're gonna see if we get this bounce now up to 193.89 in GLD. It's not exactly, doesn't quite perfectly correlate to the price of gold, but you know, that's all right. The MACD here is actually crossing bearish. Histogram is red. We'll have to see if that doesn't flip, but that's signaling that we're probably gonna be moving through correction through here. And again, price could reverse and hold 186 while the MACD tends to drift towards neutral and the histogram turns red and grind sideways, possible. The implied volatility here is dropping as the price drops, probably a signal that the drop is corrective and motive is still in an uptrend. We saw a lot of volume at that peak, and since then volume has been mixed, but generally below the 30-period average. Now moving on from GLD, let's go look at the dollar, which has been behaving oddly given SPY's bullish reversal. You can see that the dollar is also up. We passed bullish continuation here at 103.50 and we pushed higher. And this is crazy because the markets are also up. So one of these things is probably wrong. We'll see which one it is. We've got a nice strong cross in the short period average of the MACD. The histogram's green and growing taller. The RSI is at 48. We're not quite above 50, so we could easily turn down here in the dollar while markets rally, or we could watch the dollar push strongly up towards the 105, 106 area while markets correct, which is what I'm biased towards, obviously. Let's take a look at my count through here. It looks like I was expecting some correction, wave A, B, and C. I'm going to take away this this channel through here. That's the downtrend. You can see that the dollar has broken this downtrend, but now we need to pass this high. I'm going to push up bullish continuation to that high. If the dollar pushes above there, then we're going to be looking for a rally on a larger wave degree, which is going to give us a target that's higher, which would be towards, 105. There you go. And this bearish continuation, this was from this low at A, which we passed, confirming wave C. And I bet you if I were to take some measurements through here and put down an extension, that we'd be reaching that 1.168. Yep, 1.161.8. Bottoming there. Okay, yeah. So I think this is right. I think we've had wave 5, A, B, and C. And this is completing whatever wave degrees above here. I mean, these L8 wave degrees are mislabeled, so just be wary of that. But this is a complete motive higher. This is a complete corrective. And so what I would expect is that we get another motive wave heading up. And we get bullish continuation on a larger time degree here at 107, excuse me. And if that happens, then we're going to be looking for a huge rally in the dollar, pushing us up towards, is this it? Yes, 110. Wow, that would be wild. You can imagine what markets would do if the dollar rallied that hard. Moving on from there, let's go look at AMC and GameStop really quick. I did a video on just AMC and just GameStop. I was describing how the medial line of the chart pattern tends to act as resistance. Here, price didn't even make it past the 50 MA, and so, well, you can see that we found contact with the lower trend line. We tested it, and we've probably gotten that partial rise that I was describing last week. So go watch the last AMC GME video. You'll see what I'm talking about there. It's very possible that we're going to watch a downward breakout occur if this is looking bearish on the MACD. Just by the way the histogram's declining, the short period's closing distance with the longer period. Implied volatility is dropping in the corrective pattern. Oof. And the RSI almost reached 70. Got up at 50, but then sharply rejected. Not even close. This is interesting. If we get a breakout, I'll do a chart pattern price target. But at the moment, it looks like we've completed this ABC wave across the pattern. And now we're looking to see if we get that partial rise, which is bearish. Going over to GameStop. We were either going to see the price get pushed down to 1423 or up to 1704, and it looks like we reached 1423, which would have been bearish continuation. We had a breakout, but then failed to set a lower low. Price reversed and rejected it, resting now towards the 1564 mark. We're just grinding between these levels, and because, of course, I see A, B, and C over here, that makes me think that we are in another A, B, and C wave, probably in another set of A, B, and C waves. And who knows, we might get 5 sets of these things, which would be so annoying. We'll know if we get this C wave if we pass the prior peak at A, and if we do, we're going to be putting down a price target through here. So we're going to go like this, and I'm going to put down a bullish continuation right here. If we pass this bullish continuation level at, what is this, 1635, then we'll be looking for a move up to 1818 for wave C. And what I want to say is that we'll be drawing this chart pattern here probably in some sort of broadening pattern, a reverse triangle, pretty common. Very annoying because price sets higher highs and lower lows at smaller time frames, and it's just dumb. It's very dumb. And you're going to see I'm ignoring this peak, but I might as well just include it because typically those triangles, they don't start there. They typically tend to be offset, so it makes sense that this wave for 1 or A, this actually does not include the part of the triangle, but the first ABC, the end of this ABC wave does, and this becomes characteristic of our wave 2. We'll see what happens. This is basically going to decide if this is over here. Yeah, we're going to figure out very soon whether or not GameStop has reached a huge bottom or whether or not it's preparing for another leg down. I think in the next 2 weeks. Give it 2 weeks. Now let's go look at Playboy really quick, because Playboy has been, well, it's done better. It's done better. I got stopped out of my position here a couple times. I had an opportunity to take profits, and I didn't take it. I thought we were going to go much higher. We didn't. We found support, though, at 60 cents, pushing up towards 67. This is where I was entering in last week, price-wise. And you can see when I entered in there. I did get a little higher and then got stopped out as price tanked. It's finding support now. It's starting to push up. What I'm going to be looking for is some sort of pattern through here, some sort of consolidation. I'm not trusting a breakout above this high. I'm going to watch this downtrend with a lot of scrutiny. Volume's been petering off through here, so I'm kind of skeptical we're going to move higher. This looks like A, B, and C to me, and we're going to look for waves pushing down. If we do break higher, then I expect it to be a very strong push leading up to $1. Again, moving through a triangle through here, so this is something else to be aware of. Okay, that's all I want to do for today, is go through all those things in a short 23-minute video. Whatever. Happy trading.